Good evening. I hope you're all doing well. As I always say, come together united rather than divided. Right. I'm going to discuss is now. Obviously, everybody knows about the Annabelle doll, right? Now, the Annabelle doll, everybody knows, is in the Warren Museum, but there was thousands upon thousands made of this Raggedy Ann doll, but it was actually the Raggedy Ann and Andy doll what was it first appeared, the Raggedy Ann doll and Andy doll first appeared in animation, the Faster Studios short film, and released in April 11th, 1941. Obviously, there's cartoons and then obviously the dolls and things like that. Prior to this, Johnny Gruelle, the creator of the characters, had introduced a Raggedy Ann in 1915, the same year my great grandmother was born, with the first book in 1918, and then Raggedy Ann and Andy in 1920. With all discussions of deals, but that's where, and obviously, the dolls just came big, things like that, because obviously when there's always toys made, they always come with merch and things like that, like bedding and things like that. Typical. But what made the apart for ragged and those, because not a lot of people had them. Because I didn't. I mean, I love them, but when I go to buy them, I did try to buy them from eBay, and obviously they came in the UK. Somebody stole them, and I had to be refunded. That was a lot of money I spent on they both dolls. But does it put me off? No, I will go and get them. But because I like collecting things like that, right? But with the film, the Raggedy Ann doll that the Warrens have came into their hands because of two students. They obviously ordered a priest and a medium, and obviously then the Warrens became involved and took the doll. And obviously the story is that obviously there was a child called Annabelle Higgins that thingy went into the doll, but then Ed and Lorraine said, "No, it's not. It was evil." But if you look back in the case, it says Annabelle Higgins did die in that area, but she died when she was 53, not as a child. See, this is where go to Truth or Demons. I am no joking. That young lady digs, and I mean, really goes into depth with the between the Warrens and how much they've obviously just lied, because the stories that came out with Annabelle came from it was a program called The Twilight, because it was like that was Ed's favourite program. But obviously, obviously his time was growing up, and obviously then because it's like because obviously that's where the Annabelle came up on, and then the accident that they spoke about with the young lady and a young boy in a motorbike accident didn't happen, because like the roads were there and things like that. It was getting fixed up or whatever, so it didn't happen. It really didn't happen. Again, do your research. When people see when anybody says something online, do your own research and find out things, because believing somebody, yeah, you want to believe what the person's telling you firsthand. Obviously, and Annabelle doll became even bigger because of the movie, the Conjuring and Annabelle movie and things like that. And obviously, they have this doll locked behind like a casing. But if you look at the doll that Lorraine Warren is holding in a picture, It's actually bigger than the one that's in the casing. So I believe they have other dolls that they maybe haven't travelled about with. Because if this was so evil, why are they travelling and making money? I think it was like $100 to get tickets and things like that, which is so. And they're travelling about with these items. If they are so evil, why are they not just stuck in the museum? Obviously, Lorraine and Ed are no longer with us, but the controversy with Ed and Lorraine, which is actually true about Ed, is obviously I'm sleeping with a little girl, obviously, and she stayed with them for me. But and Lorraine knew about this, so it's like when you dig into this thing and you find out about this thing. I mean, it's fantastic that Matt and Elton has got this place, and obviously they were saying they were going to put it because obviously they don't. I understand it fully. If I was living in an area, you wouldn't want all sorts of people coming around. So what they're going to move the place, the things to somewhere else. But obviously at the moment, they're going to open the house, Ed and Lorraine's house, and open it as a Airbnb, and only have they're not allowed to have so many people in. Fair enough. I mean, to me, they're good. It's a business, right? But don't go about sitting if you think these things are evil, do not. Why are you travelling? Why are you travelling about? Because I certainly wouldn't. Now, obviously, the guy Tony was saying stuff and things about if you don't believe and things like that, and it's like people would go to hell and whatever. Grow up, grow up. When caught out lying, as I said, go to Truth and Demons. She does so much digging within, and it's not a thingy about. It's great having all these items because each item's historic for whatever time period. There's a doll, it's called Fire Doll, and the girl for Truth and Demons found that wasn't. And if you look at its foot or the back of its neck, it's got a stamp. And when they said it was, I mean, obviously that fire did happen and things like that, but they made out that this doll was the only thing that survived in the fire, which again is another lie. Obviously, they've collected things and they've wanted to make themselves big, is what they became, the ones. But as I said, the Raggedy Ann doll was Raggedy Ann and Andy. And so one doesn't come without the other, really. They're lovely dolls, but they're definitely not haunted. Especially the one we all personally know about is the Annabelle doll. She's definitely not haunted. She's not possessed or anything. So you wouldn't get hurt or things like that if you touched her. Or any of the items in that museum. So, but it'll be an enjoyment to go see and go and do what you want. Because obviously, if you enjoy these movies, it's something to go and because I know they have the other the doll from the Annabelle, obviously the kind of porcelain doll. They've got that there. Now, if you're a movie fan, you'll go and you'll want to see these things, and so of course you would. It's like the Conjuring House. People love the Conjuring House due to the film, but to me, it's about the history of the land and the houses and things like that. And that's I like things like that. But I love if I was ever to go to a place like that, places like that, then it'd be I'd be just going about just to being thingied because they were in movies and things like that. As a fan of movies, and I'm not saying I don't like Elton. As I said, I like Elton's vlogging channels more than his other channel overnight. But we can all like and enjoy the content for different creators. As I've always said about people faking things, that's fine, obviously, but remember, these things are only for entertainment, for our entertainment. And obviously, people believe in the paranormal, but some take it a wee bit more. And obviously, then you've got debunkers that are going to have break it apart, which I think is blinking amazing. So, as I always said, debunkers and that come together. And but with the Annabelle doll, uh, she she's a very old doll and historic doll, and I mean, obviously, there's more to on that. I mean, obviously, if you go on eBay, they've got bedding and cups and things like that, and it's like, so if you're into things like that, go on eBay and buy the items, and especially if you've you get a child, if you were a child in it, growing up and you like things like that. Personally, I like it because of the movie, because I have the other doll for the movie, but I'd like the actually Raggedy Ann and Andy doll, not just the, as the one's called as Annabelle doll, but it's not, it's actually Raggedy Ann. Oh, it's, oh, she is, it's a Raggedy Ann doll. Beautiful material. There's, I mean, so, and other people, they make these dolls as well, so it's actually really good when you sit and you go through eBay and you see the list of things on, so go have a look at it, it's actually really good. But do you think the Annabelle doll is possessed by whatever, possessed? Because I don't, I really don't, and I believe in the paranormal, but it's like, if you sit and you listen, you don't need all these devices. If you sit and you listen carefully and you shut your eyes, you'll hear your name, you'll hear other things. You sit and you breathe and you meditate and you feel things and believe in things. You don't need the devices. But also, the devices make a video, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. And it's everybody's each to their own on these on this platform, but just don't lie about it and things like that. Put on your things is beardo shape and all that does, it says, put on the description that it's for entertainment purposes only, because everybody is just on here and it's for entertainment, because that's all it is. It's for our viewing, our entertainment and enjoyment. Because Beardo believes in the paranormal. He goes out and investigates. You've got Ghost and Trent, and you've got the Ouija brothers. They believe. You have got the side eye guy who's actually filmed with Colin for the, oh my god, the Paranormal Files. So, and you've got Mythos that's went out and investigated, and you've got the World of Mr. Grey, again another person that investigated. You have Debunked Paranormal. He's funny, but he gets into even more depth of things. So as I said, you either like these people or you don't. It doesn't matter if it's debunked or the paranormal. It's your choice to watch. Nobody's telling you not to watch them. You enjoy them, and but don't go into comment sections. Well, I had a cheeky comment in Beardo section because I said about people screaming in that in videos. But I did say it's great to have all these YouTubers together. It's just you don't need to scream every 2 blinking minutes. They can sit and things like that or walk about. Why sit in one place? If something goes off, go investigate it. If you hear a noise in your house, you're going to go and check, aren't you? So that's what should be happening. So anyway, guys, what do you think about the Raggedy Ann doll, as in named the Annabelle doll, do you think she is possessed? I mean, I know, as I've just said, I gave you my opinion. So if you want to give your opinion in the comment section below, let's be nice and kind to each other and don't be nasty to each other. Be respectful of each other's opinions, because that's in life. We have freedom of speech. So be kind, okay? Sending love and light, and good night.